Has this ever happened to you? You spend all of your time building your very own commander deck from scratch. You pick that one commander that you would absolutely love to build. You've got all these ideas in your head. You're picking out all these cards that you're like, yeah, this is going to be really nice. This is going to combo so good. You put the deck together, you sit down to play with your friends, and you realize that you hate this deck. This deck isn't doing anything. This deck sucks. If that is you, then don't worry, you're not on your own, because this is exactly what happened to my cousin Charlie, and we are going to be going through this deck and seeing if we can revive it, if you will, kind of like a deck doctor series. I think that's what I might be calling this video, and we'll see if it does turn into a series if you guys like this kind of content. Charlie wanted to build a Jolly Balloon Man deck. He loved the idea of this card, and he was just like, wow, I want to build a deck around this crazy horror card. And he gave it a good crack. Just for some context, this is his first time building his own commander deck from scratch without any help. He wanted to just see if he could build something purely off his own ideas. He built a deck and he did not enjoy this deck at all. He's played it a few games and he's just like, nah, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. The deck just sucks. I just hate it. I wanted to take this on as a challenge, see if I could take the deck and maybe fix it for him. So without further ado, let's get this deck up in Architect and let's have a little look at what is going on. Okie dokie, so this is Charlie's Jolly Balloon Man deck uploaded into Architect. This is one of the first things that I want to say, guys. Make your decks online, make them on Architect or Moxfield. I use Architect, so I can only really give tips on that, but you know, that's first things first, because I don't think he did that. And, you know, I think that is partly some of the problem. It might not seem like a big deal, but I'm going to show you why it is a big deal. So I had to go through every card, put them into the database, and then tag each of these cards so I could actually see what is going on with the deck. Because I think that's half the problem. He hadn't done this, so he has no idea of how many of each thing that he has. But if I go to categories multiple here, I can see, boom, all of these different categories that I have created, custom tags, so that I can track what is going on. For example, I know that I've got 12 ETB triggers in here. I know that I've got 3 additional combat phases, 15 cards that I would target with Jolly Balloon Man to make balloons, etc, 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 okay? And I just think that is super, super important. Otherwise, you really just have no idea of what's going on in the deck. How do you know what to put in, what to take out? Because everything is just, it's 100 cards, guys. 100 cards. You need to be able to track and have a outside bird's eye view of your deck and see what is going on. So how do we create these tags for these cards? So let's have a look at an example. Arabella, we're going to click this little arrow here, and then it is going to show you all the tags that I have made. So we've got attack trigger, we've got burn, power matters, creature count matters, and life gain. So straight away we can see this card is doing a lot of different things. So how do we create this? You click add category. If you want to make a new one, click create new category, call it what you want, and then click create. And then when you go to add the category will be there. Default is just going to show you stuff like commander, creature, stuff like that, and we know that there's a lot more specific tags that we need, okay? And then once you've gone through every single card, now we can go to categories multiple, and it's so good, because what it's going to do is show you cards that come up in each of the categories multiple times, right? So a card can, like we saw in Arabella, she can be a life gain card, but she can also be a power matters card, and she could also be a creature count cares card. So we can't do this in real, like in person with the cardboard, because we can't put the card in multiple piles, okay? So that's why this is super important. Right, so when I did all this, I had a look at the deck, and straight away, this deck has no idea what it's doing. It's all over the place, guys. It really is. I actually made some notes on it, so we'll get those up here. But yeah, the deck is all over the place. That is why he is not enjoying this deck. It has no goal. It has no aim. It has no way to win the game. I believe all Charlie's done here is just gone through cards and gone, that synergizes with Jolly Balloon Man in some capacity, and put it in. That was his deck building plan. That was it. And it really does show. I'm not trying to throw shade at him here. Again, this was his first time building a deck. And really, if you've never built a commander deck before, how do you know like where to start or what to do. Like, it is so overwhelming. So I don't blame him here at all. And you know, it's all a learning curve, right? Because now he's built a deck, he's felt the pain of building a deck that sucks, and now he's going to learn where he went wrong and how he can fix it, right? So that's first things first. There's no game plan whatsoever, okay? We need a game plan. We need one. There's no win cons. There's no cards in here that I'm like, tell a lie. There's the odd little combo in here that I'm like, woo, that would be very nice. Like, for example, like, let's have a little look for it here. Actually, no, we'll go to categories multiple because I know it's in the burn category. Burn. Okay. Overlord of the Boyle Burges. This card here. What a card that combos so well with Jolly Balloon Man. It enters, deals 4 damage, it attacks, deals 4 damage. So you play it, it enters, you deal the damage, then you create the balloon, you get another trigger, deal another 4 damage, then the balloon attacks, you deal another 4 damage. Next turn, this one is attacking, again, you make the balloon, you're getting 3 triggers every turn, basically 12 damage each turn. That right there needs to be dealt with. Stuff is going to be dying or we're going to be taking direct damage. So we have stuff like that, which would be fantastic if the whole deck was built around it, right? But it's not. We've got 6 pieces of burn. If I saw this card and was like, I want to build a deck around like this card, I would have 30 sources of burn, not 6, okay? It's not enough, guys. Not enough. So that's the one thing. There's also not enough veggies in this deck, right? We have a look. We have 6 sources of ramp. No. You want double that at least, okay? 6 is not enough. This deck's going to be too slow. It's not going to keep up. 9 instances of card draw is not enough. It's better than 6. It's not good enough. We need probably at least 12, okay? There's some cards in here that say draw a card, but that isn't card draw. It's not card draw, guys. I've talked about this in a video before. Like, just because a card says draw a card on it, it doesn't make it card draw. Like, this is a perfect example. Acrobatic maneuver. I think he's put this in because he thought that, you know, this would be good card draw. It's not, guys, because you play a card and then you get a card back. That's not card draw. We haven't counted it, okay? We need to be able to create card advantage. We need repeatable draws. Like this Welcoming Vampire, one of the best card draw engines in the deck. Every time we create a balloon, boom, we get a card. Fantastic. We need more of that, okay? We need more. Removal, we've got a fair few. I think we've got 10 instances of removal, which is pretty good. I'd still say maybe a little bit more would be nice. I can't even bloody find it. This is the problem, guys. Look how many tags I've had to make because there's just too many things going on. There's too many things going on, guys. We found it right at the bottom here. 10 instances of removal, okay? Would be nicer if there was a few more. So we need more veggies. Absolutely. The mana curve. The mana curve, guys. Look at this. Right? Now, as a general rule of thumb, lots of 2-drops, lots of 3-drops is a pretty good idea. Maybe not this many, but it's still fairly good. However, when your commander is free cost, you do not want this many free drops, guys, because you're not playing any of these cards on turn 3. So effectively, these cards might as well not be free mana. You're not getting that free mana value out of them because you're not playing them on turn 3. So they could have been 4. You know, that's the only thing. There is the argument to say that on turn 4, you can play a free mana and then 1 mana to cast the balloon. Okay? There is that argument, but still, I think there's too many free drops, and there's not enough later bigger drops. 4 drops, 5 drops. It's not enough. It's not enough, guys. Like, this deck is so low to the ground, and at the end of the day, this is not a deck that we're just trying to play loads of small things and go wide, unless that was Charlie's original plan. But if it was, there's not enough to allow that to happen. You know, there's not enough token creation in the deck to warrant going wide, right? When I was looking at this, you know, I'm trying to like figure out some of the things that some of the themes. He's got a lot of pump spells, so I was thinking maybe he had the idea that he would create loads of balloons, loads of tokens, pump them all, and then attack his opponent with loads of flying balloons. But it doesn't work like that because the balloons pop at the end of the turn. So we're not going wide. We're not going wide. What the balloon allows us to do is create stuff. Okay, so ETBs are great. It allows us to get attack triggers off because they're always going to be attacking. They're very dispensable. They only cost us 1 mana to make. So they have haste. They're coming in. They're attacking. If you have a trigger on the balloon, it really doesn't even matter if the balloon hits. All we want to do is just attack with it so we can get the trigger off. There is not enough attack triggers in the deck. There's 8. There's 8, and not even all of those we even are able to create balloons with, right? Because that's another problem. There's too many legendary creatures. Arabella, we can't clone her. Aurelia, we can't clone her. The rooms, they're irrelevant. Itali, legendary, can't clone him. You get where I'm going with this, right? There's barely any. There's not enough ETBs if we're trying to, really take advantage of ETBs. There's not enough. There's 12. If I wanted to make the deck around ETBs, again, I'd have 30. There's just not enough, and it's why this deck just feels all over the place, okay? So yeah, the mana curve is a problem. The mana base could do with a little bit of work. It's definitely the area of the deck that's I'd say probably the best. It's still not great. There's too many basics. I would take some of this down, put some more dual lands in there, and you can afford to run some more utility lands as well because you've only got a 2-color deck. We might as well take advantage of that, okay? And there's some good dual lands that don't break the bank, that rarely come in tapped. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So that's everything that is wrong with the deck, okay? So how would I fix this deck? Again, I would pick a plan. What do we want to do? Now, for me, it's ETBs all day long. As I said it, ETBs and attack triggers is the way to go. So Jack, how do we find cards that are going to work well with Jolly Balloon Man? Okay, right, let's go to our best friend, Old Scryfall. Now, let's say we want ETBs. So we're going to type in, is ETB, okay? That's going to come up, but, that's every card that's an ETB. That's not good enough. We need creatures. I can't spell. Creatures. Okay, so type creature. Not enough. We need red-white. So you can see we're slowly just bringing it down, filtering through. We don't want legends because we can't copy them. So let's put, I believe it's minus legend. Okay, so that's taken away all the legends. I think that's enough. Also, we want legal commander because we don't want arena cards. Boom. Okay, now we have got loads of cards that are creatures that aren't legendary creatures, so we can make balloons out of them and we can abuse these ETBs. Also, it is EDH Rec ranked at the top here. You can see it here, sorted by EDH Rec. If you don't know how to do this, okay, I will quickly show you. Make an account. That's the first things first. Go to your account here. Make your account, go to search preferences, come up to here, sorted by, and click EDH Rec rank, okay? And that's going to show us all the most popular cards first, okay? Boom. Now we've got some perfect cards that work well with the deck. Solemn Simulacrum. Perfect. It enters, it's going to ramp us. When it dies, it draws us a card. So when we make a balloon, we're double ramping, we're double drawing. It's beautiful, guys. Sun Titan. Oh my goodness. Why is this not in the deck? 6 mana. It has a enters and an attack trigger, and we're returning permanents, small permanents from our graveyard to the battlefield. So we play the Sun Titan, we get something back from the graveyard if we've got it. Then we make the balloon, we do that again. Then we attack with the balloon, we do it again. Next turn, we attack with this Sun Titan, do it again, make the balloon. Basically, again, we get 3 triggers, just like the Overlord, every single time. Okay, so these Titan abilities, so good. Mentor the Meek. Every time we create a balloon, we're going to draw a card, okay? Knight of the White Orchard. We're going to ramp every time it enters. It's just Meteor Golem. Every time we create a copy of Meteor Golem, we're going to kill something. Anything. Non-land permanent. Enchantment, artifact, creature. Does not matter. It's dead, okay? Suddenly, we have these massive threats. If we don't deal with that, he's going to build board presence. If we don't deal with that, he's going to keep drawing cards. If we don't deal with that, he's going to keep destroying things. So much threat on the board straight away. This deck, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that. There's just really nothing apart from like the very odd one. But this is a big deck. It's a 100-card deck. It's a commander deck. There's not enough. There's just not enough scary stuff going on. And also, because it's all spaced out, if you deal with, like, say, the Overlord, okay, it's fine because there's nothing else that's coming. It's not an issue, okay? If you kill Jolly Balloon Man, this deck is even worse. It does nothing. It has no backup plan whatsoever. That's another thing, right? You need to be able to have a backup plan. So if you're more, like, synergized with one game plan, like this ETB plan, all we would have to do is put some cards in that allow us to flicker our ETBs, so we get to return the card and bring it back. And then that way, even if Jolly Balloon Man dies, the deck is still doing its thing, okay? We could also find other cards that create tokens, right? So let's say, for example, we want more stuff that does what Jolly Balloon Man is doing. And we spell Jolly Balloon Man correctly. So that way we have backups if Jolly Balloon Man is to die, right? So we'll go on the Scryfall tagger. We're going to look for, say, copy creature, right? So that way we can copy the ETBs. Again, we want red, white. Boom. Okay, now we've got loads of cards that effectively do what Jolly Balloon Man is doing, creating copies that enter, that trigger the ETBs. Helm of the Host, Curse Mirror, Kiki Jiki. These are all doing that, guys. All of them. Feldom of the Third Path. All of it. These are all fantastic backup plans if Jolly Balloon Man is to die. The deck needs to be able to run without your commander, okay? So it's going to do that. So that is how I would personally fix this deck. I would pick a plan, I'd go with it, I'd find all cards that work with it, and then when you go to this categories multiple, when you find the plan, there should be about 30 sources that do that thing. Attack trigger is another thing that's just going to be so good in this deck, right? So let's look at Arabella. We know that she has an attack trigger, okay? Now, how do I find these attack triggers? We go to the tagger, attack trigger tag, right here. Boom. We click on that. Again, we look for this color identity, red, white. And now we have got loads of cards that have attack triggers. Perfect, perfect, perfect for this balloon hasty strategy that we are going to have. So we pick a plan and we put loads of cards that work with that. None of this, fewer those here, fewer those here, fewer those here. What do I take out? Anything that does not do the plan or the sub-theme, you can have a sub-theme. So let's say our main theme is ETBs. The sub-theme is attack triggers. Perfect, okay? That's really, really nice. Anything that is not an ETB, that is not an attack trigger, or a veggie, so removal, ramp, or card draw, take it out, okay? You don't have that many slots, because you're running, say, 37, 38 lands, right? That's almost half the deck. Once you get, say, 10 sources of each of the veggies, your commander, that's it. You don't have that much more to fit in, okay? You can't afford to have cards that don't fit in. You can't just put a card in just because, like, oh yeah, well, you know, that would be cool. It works. It triggers something of Jolly Balloon Man. No, have a plan, stick to it. Of course, you don't have to build your deck like this. If you enjoy your deck being all over the place, then by all means, if you're building a bracket 1 deck and it's just a silly theme, that's fine. That's not what we're talking about here today. We are trying to build a deck that is functional, that is fun to play, okay? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments below if you've been having any troubles with any decks that you've been playing with, and maybe send me an email and I can have a little look at it for you. Would be more than happy to do that because I've really enjoyed making this video today, and I do hope that you guys have learned something. Now, if you enjoy this kind of deck building content and you want to see more, then why don't you check out this video here, Is Your Deck Too Slow?, where I specifically target the issue of decks being too slow, and I think a lot of people have run into that. So if that's the case, go check out this video. I think you'll like it.